and welcome, everybody. How are you? Can you all hear me well? My name is Leona, and we are doing something never before done on this show. 3 remote locations, but in studio, here I am. Welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. My name's Leona. We have Gretchen and Dave here from remote locations, and I'm excited for you all to be here and just the mastery of technology that's happening right now.
You are at the studio.
You are.
Yes.
You are the master.
Yes. So thank
Good
you.
job.
Yes, thank you. Who's that stranger in the middle? So,
I know.
welcome back, Gretchen. Thanks for joining with us.
I am glad to be back. I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks. We're going to touch on that a little bit later in the show.
Awesome.
But I am happy to be here today.
Yay, thanks for joining us.
You're in cool places right now.
We are. One of us is in a very cool place. Dave is tuning in from Adepticon. So,
This is my hotel room.
We could tell it wasn't a basement. We were like, oh, that's not a dungeon. Dave's been let loose.
There's far more lighting here.
Better lighting.
I like the little wishies in the background. That's nice touch.
Yeah.
It's good. So yeah, Dave's joining from Adepticon. So how is it? Tell us all about it. What's going on in the world?
Yeah, no, Adepticon is very cool. It's great. As folks who are regular viewers of the show will know, I'm a huge fan of Adepticon. I love sort of coming out here and out through Schaumburg, Illinois, mainly because it's wonderful to say Schaumburg. But there are other good reasons to come out here as well. But no, Adepticon's been an awesome show for me. I've really enjoyed it over the years. This is the 18th 18th show that they've had.
Nice.
I've missed 3 of them. So definitely super cool. I love it, and it's this is the first one in 3 years. So 3 years ago was the last time we had an Adepticon. So I think a lot of people coming to the show this time who have been to Adepticon before, see a lot of people posting about it on social media saying it's like heading off to the family reunion, so that kind of thing. Because it's such it's a fairly short. Well, it's a long convention, but it's a fairly short thing in the scheme of things, where it's like 4.5 days of everything,
right.
All sorts of emotions wrapped around hobby passion. It's very emotional time for folks. So
lots of tears.
Lots of tears. Yeah. No, people are super psyched to be back. It's definitely super cool. I think last week I said I was going to take some video, so I did that and sent it through to Leona. So I think it says good to be back today. Yes, it's very good to be back.
I think someone else noted a bit of cheerfulness in your demeanor. Little your stuff.
Cheerfulness?
Yes, it was JT. JT says, Dave, cheerful?
Cheerful or tearful? A little bit of both.
Cheerful. Also, I do want to say hi to people in the chat, to Ashlyn, Josh Potter, to Jez, to Dave Hummel, also Jason, and to JT as well. Thank you guys for joining and saying hello with us. Yes, good to be back, Dave.
One thing I was going to say as well is when I was walking to my room, like kept bringing my bags to my room, I had my mask on like this, right. and somebody said something. I said, "Eating Happy Little Minis?" And I was like, "How did you recognize me?"
I've had that happen exactly once, and it was really weird because it was like a friend of a friend didn't actually watch the show but had seen us on YouTube like twice.
Nice.
Right. Yeah. Excellent. That would have been really. I was I was at a show about miniatures, so I should have expected that. But
Right.
yeah, it was still a nice surprise.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, should
Would
we
you
have a
like-
look at
Yeah.
the first video? Oh, okay.
Which video do you want to play first?
We can have a look at this
talking
one. No, we can have a look at this one.
Okay. Cool. Let me
so-
just minimize the sound on it for a second.
Sure.
Lower the sound a little bit so we don't get the sound floor. So Dave took some video of the show floor.
Yep. So this was up on the second floor. This is the Golden Demon area. Games Workshop hasn't had a Golden Demon competition in North America since 2013. When it was down at Memphis, but see a lot of empty cabinets here. So this is taken this morning. They just started taking entries this morning. I think we've got some, see some of the entries here. Just a quick run by because there's no way my camera's going to do them justice. But over today, I think we've probably had like 10 times as many entries been put in.
Gotcha.
So, but we've got until Saturday afternoon to complete sort of your entries and get them in. And then I think all the awards are going to be presented on Sunday. So that should be
Nice.
very good time. But yeah, and Games Workshop sent out some judges from the UK to judge for that. So it'll be very cool to see. There's a lot of we've got a lot of painters who have come over from England and from Europe as well to compete. So, yeah, it's going to be great. So this video that we're looking at here is in the 40K hall. So all 40,000 games going on like there in this hall. There was I can't remember the event that was happening today. I think it might have been the championships. 40K championships were going on. The Kill Team tournament. A few other bits and pieces. But yeah, lots and lots of terrain, lots of armies. Played. Oh, Dave's audio is coming out a little bit. As just said, yeah, it looks nice. Yep, Adepticon's pretty good at having that little buffer zone between, even pre-pandemic. It was good. It's a great spot to put your dice in the rule books and all that kind of thing.
Nice.
As you can see, I'm still learning how to use my gimbal. It's not working
Yeah.
perfectly. But I saw my buddy Brian Carlson there. Brian usually runs what they call the 40K Friendly. And this is one of the armies that he painted up during the pandemic. And the cool thing with this one is that it's a big Tyranid army. All of the carapace, all of the big armor plates on the back of these Tyranids, are all done with pearlescent paints. So it's like
Pearlescent?
this nice little pearlescent, yeah, so a nice little touch of Gretchen there.
Yeah.
And also all of the sort of fleshy underbits were done with the contrast paint Volupus Pink, which I've used on my Death Guard models for the flesh tone. So, yeah, Brian's
Looks great.
paints a lot of armies, and he's really good at doing that. So we had a chat about it, and it was very cool just to listen to him to go through his steps. So it's something I wanted to take a shot of and show during the show tonight. And this is a quick walk down one aisle of the vendor hall. So starting at the front. This was probably at about around noon today. So there are companies there. You got, oh, have we frozen? Is it just me?
No, I'm good. You're good. Sometimes they cut in and out. It's okay.
Okay. This is
We're
just
back.
me. On the right there, we have Conquest and Parabellum. We've got all sorts of stuff going on there. We've got Steam Forged Games, I think, to the left here with God Tier. I got to say hi to, we got Modifius, well, Elder Scrolls, and Fallout.
Nice.
But yeah, loads of minis there. Privateer Press with War Machine. They're getting ready for their Grandmaster, their P3 Grandmaster painting competition. Those cabinets that have just walked past there, that's where the meetings for that are going to go.
Nice.
So, yeah, definitely loads of cool stuff there. That was just one of 4 aisles
Okay.
in the vendor hall. There's loads of vendors. There's more outside in the main sort of thoroughfare areas. Definitely super cool. Oh, sorry. So Sean said it's a lot bigger than the last time I was there. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many people are here this year, but I think in 2019 there are about 5,500. This section here is the sort of the Atomic Mass games section. So there's got Star Wars Legion games going on there. Those 2 podiums that we saw up the other side there were the sort of top tables for Marvel Crisis Protocol and for Star Wars Legion.
The ones that are coming up. Yeah.
These ones in the frames there. So that if they have they can mount cameras up on those frames and stream the games.
Nice.
But yeah, you can see a cool Star Wars table there with the Imperial shuttle, the Scarif table. This video is terrible. Just kill it. Never send it to you. But anyway, and this is one of the places, the Hobby Lounge that I told you about last week. Talked about quite a bit. So this is Fort Waffle. A little bit quiet at this point during the day, but by right now it's completely packed and will be packed until the end of the day. Cool. Sorry, Terrace Cassidy just there to the little finger guns. Terrace runs Geek Nation tours. So we have the tour group who are at the show. I think on Tuesday they went up to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, which is where the birthplace of D&D. So they went up there, and I think they played some games with Gary Gygax's brother, Luke. So that was pretty neat. And also this group that are in this video here are the people who are on that Geek Nation tour. And so one of the special events they've got for them is the guy in the hat doing a lot of talking is James Waffle, and he's doing a class on pacing, basically. So he's there talking about different tools, different equipment, materials, that sort of stuff. And then we've got a couple of photos of the table setups that are the rest of that room. So yeah, there we go. Whole different lot of samples of basing, and Jim never does anything by halves. So in each of those containers, he'll have armies that he's worked on and used different particular basing styles that he wants to talk about. So he has great examples there to show. So definitely quite cool. And yeah, this is sort of a setup where there gets cork tile and some bark, some coffee stirrers. So during the rest of the evening, the folks in that tour group are going to get to make some excellent bases.
Nice.
But yeah, just one of the things that's going on here. There's so many things happening. But it's very cool to be able to get some of that footage and some of those photos. Yeah.
It looks fun. Did he paint anything?
Oh, sorry, can you say that again?
Did he paint anything specific for it? Did you have any, did you have anything particular that made you?
No, I haven't painted anything specifically for the show, but I did bring along some models to enter into Golden Demon. So I might take some photos of those in the case tomorrow and pop them up in the group.
Nice.
But yeah, definitely cool. It's a lot of fun to be here, and particularly see. I think we've got something like 72 hobby seminars happening over the weekend.
Wow.
All sorts of different folks. I think Aaron Lovejoy is running 10 or 12. They've got folks from Games Workshop, from Warhammer TV, who are over running classes as well. So I think they've got about a dozen classes that Warhammer team are doing.
Have you bought
I
a
bought
ton of stuff?
No, I have not yet purchased. Yep. No, I haven't purchased anything other than a few beers and some food. But I think Saturday I'll probably get to see a few things. There's some stuff that I'd like to put my hands on, but yeah, definitely cool. I'll go to about when we mentioned walking past the Steam Forge Games booth. I got to have a chat with Matt Hart, who's one of the owners of Steam Forge Games. So it's very cool to have a chat with him. I introduced him to one of my friends for sculpting, so hopefully they can start doing some work together. Yeah, it's very just very cool. It's a show where it's been coming for so long. There's a lot of people here that I know. Even just to sort of walk past the hallway and say hi and say, "Oh, what are you up to now? What are you?" Just talk about toy soldiers.
Right.
There's definitely a lot of that we do on a regular basis.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for.
I like to talk about toy soldiers.
Yeah. Thank you for getting the footage. Appreciate it. I know a lot of people in the chat were saying they were jealous. They're thirsty for any convention at this point, and I
Everyone.
Yeah.
So we hope the rest of the weekend is fun. And you said you're helping out in the hobby section this weekend?
In the hobby lounge, yep.
In the hobby lounge.
So when I say that, I mean Damon, my buddy Damon, who runs that area, he's got it dialed in and has a team of people, and so far I think I've got to carry 2 heavy things and without support. So it's been very light work. But
nice, awesome. Well, very cool. Thank you for sharing. And is there anything else you wanted to share about Gen Con? I mean, not Gen Con, Adepticon.
Adepticon. No, I think if people want to sort of check out Adepticon, you can check it out on social media, like just Adepticon. They've been doing a lot of Instagram posting this year, so you can check it out on Instagram or on Facebook, or go to adepticon.org. But it's just a great miniatures-based convention. There are board games, there are card games, that sort of thing going on, but it's very much miniatures focused, miniatures heavy. No, definitely just fun and cool, and having a lot of fun. I will probably be sort of ducking out of the conversation soon and get back into the joy that is Adepticon.
Yes.
But I will be back next week, back in the studio next week.
Awesome. Thank you. Real quick before you head out, Gretchen, we were saying that we wanted to chat a little bit about where you've been, what's happening in your life.
I have been at my home being sick because I am pregnant. So it's the non-secret secret. Those of you who are on my social media have already found out. But I have not been able to be on the show because I have been too sick. And because of that, we are actually going. If open tickets go on sale, then we can have. I'm a happy mini person. I'm like reading it. I'm 3D printing right now. That's the exact noises.
I can believe it. Yeah.
Accurate.
But for my health, I'm actually going to be leaving the show. There is just not enough time and hours of the day for me to work a 10-hour shift and then come and be on painting happy little minis, and then also puke in a toilet.
And stay healthy, yeah.
You said you were going to clean that up. I
did. That was much cleaner. That's as cute as it gets. So we're gonna do an episode, a going away episode in April. Leona will announce when my last show will be.
Yes.
But yes, I will miss you all terribly. But I will be poking around on the Facebook page, and I will still be there in the internet, painting and things.
Yeah.
Just with a little bit more rest in my system and less bags under my eyes eventually. I don't think those are going to get better for a good 3 years.
Could be longer.
Yeah,
Long.
optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there have been just some
Yeah.
things happening, obviously, behind the scenes in terms of the show. And so we're excited for Gretchen to be able to move on and take the rest that you need. And then in April, we're hoping to have maybe like a glitter whimsy themed episode as our farewell.
Super awesome.
Lots
I
of
think
glitter,
Dave,
lots of
I think you have
whimsy.
to actually bring glitter to this one. You have to paint with glitter.
Yes.
Sure, I'll do that. Totally.
And maybe even glitter
Yeah.
effects. Maybe I'll find glitter effects that I can add to our
that'd be
show
exciting.
just because.
The worst
So,
episode.
yeah, and it'll be really fun. So, but yeah, as we move forward, we're just gonna have a good time and enjoy painting and thank Gretchen for being here. So we'll have more information in the Facebook group and also on social media. But yeah, we wanted to announce Gretchen's exciting news and things like that. So it's all going to be great. So yeah, that's kind of like the talking portion of our show. I don't know if Dave, you wanted to head out and say goodbye so long.
Sure.
And
So long farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu. Yeah, thank you very much for patching me in from Schaumburg, Illinois.
yes.
The other side of the planet. Not quite. It's only 2 hours like Baltimore. But no, I just did want to say thank you very much to Gretchen for the last period now.
I think it's been 3 or 4 years actually.
Yeah.
Yep, it's been a lot, but no, really, appreciate everything you've done for the show.
Aw.
You make
And
me cry.
Congratulations.
We'll have the crying episode. We'll have the crying episode next month.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
cry
be
now
really
as well, damn it.
You'll cry now. It's good.
Yeah,
It's
it'll be.
Cool. But no, congratulations. Parenthood is amazing. Absolutely wonderful. And we know you're gonna slay it. So, super cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
joining,
much.
Dave. Bye. See you later.
Have fun. Go in the hallway and refresh yourself.
Yep. I will.
It's true.
Okie dokie. I just press the leave button now.
Yep.
See you later.
Alrighty. So let's get into our painting. Good night, Dave. Everyone says good night, Dave. Oh, yeah, Ashlyn, I agree. Someone said he's less cheerful now. We're painting happy little middies, guys.
Josh put a name, Baby Garistro.
Oh my gosh, Garistro. It's good for a boy or girl. I love that. I love
In the
that.
back of my brain now. We do have it. We know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a little
Oh.
girl. Yeah, she's gonna.
Garistro.
And her name is going to be Holly.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've been confusing everyone at work because I don't have a big baby bump, and they're like, "How are you almost halfway there?" And I'm like, "Cause
You're
I'm
like, that's how it
secret."
happens. Secret episode. Nice. So are you
5 foot. Wear big sweaters.
yeah, big sweaters, big things. We will have our teary episode in April.
Everyone's gonna be crying and covered in
Yeah.
glitter.
We can cry covered in glitter.
That's the tag line for that episode. Crying and covered in glitter.
Crying covered in glitter. Yeah. But yeah, my hope is to just put some stuff in the group, and if people want, I'm thinking of maybe kind of making like an thank you card or like congrats card. Not thank you card, but so that people could add to it, as they'd like. If you'd like to wish Gretchen a congrats, we'll have something from the Painting Happy Little Minis group. I thought that might be nice. Because, yeah, it's super fun and exciting, and
yes.
you've been painting
We're
long time.
very excited. The whole sports community is excited.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the nerdiest baby, and it's not even born yet. She's...
And then once she's gonna have, at some point, once she can hold a paintbrush,
Oh, we all know it's gonna happen.
It's gotta
and
happen.
I'll still be painting things, and I'll still post up some stuff every now and then again. I'll lurk
Nice.
in the Facebook
Definitely.
page.
And maybe if you're feeling good, we could always have a special guest on the show.
Oh yeah.
If time allows. Who knows? So this evening I'm painting up we're still working on our frameworks models from WizKids. And actually we have a giveaway going on currently in the group. And you'll be able to win the Night Hag, which is kind of fun. So yeah, that's what we've been painting. Gretchen, I don't know if you've been able to paint it all or are planning on painting anything this evening.
I am painting the dragon that I have previously been working on. I'm actually going over with a darker green than I had, but it's all backlit, so you can't see a thing.
That's okay.
But I didn't like the more olive toned green that I had chosen before, and so I'm going back over with the darker green, and I think it looks a little bit more becoming.
Right.
Classic dragon colors.
Rob Jedi says Dave left to have a big cry. Maybe Dave was feeling emotional because of Adepticon and like he's seeing all of his friends and now he's saying goodbye to a friend. So I get it.
Bring it on the emotions. It's fine.
Jason said, all my kids got nicknames based on their first sonogram. Our third was Kalia because he was a month bigger than he was supposed to be. Moved up the delivery date. Nice.
So I had been calling her Smudge because she didn't really look like much on an ultrasound when I first got one. She
That's
just
funny.
looked like a little smudge on there. My mother has been calling her Bean.
Bean.
Bean. Just a little
like
bean.
Baby Bean.
But she is growing right on track. I am due in September.
Awesome.
So
Glad the baby is
just
healthy.
time to spend the entire summer very, very pregnant.
Right when you want to be, when it's nice and hot.
Yep.
Not. So with the colors of this Night Hag, I'm actually going to just be working right off the box. I decided that being creative is hard, and so I'm going to do the colors right off of the box. So she's going to have purple skin with some hexed lichen. Kaiju. Oh, autocorrect. Yes, that's good. Yeah. Oh, Josh Potter said something funny. Gretchen has been walking behind plants and couches at work. It's completely befuddled her coworkers. You just constantly are behind a plant. You're like, hi, guys.
always. I'm not a very large person to begin with, so it
Yeah.
really hasn't been that hard, especially in the winter time because I like big sweaters. I've
Yeah.
had several people after I announced at work come up to me and just be like, "But where?" But
But that's not possible. And you're like, nope.
and I've had the
Trust me.
ultrasound because she already looks like a baby in the ultrasound. So I have the ultrasounds like in my purse, and they're like,
Aw.
"No, no, you're not pregnant." And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a whole baby in there."
Some people just carry the different, so.
I'll be like my sister. I probably won't show much until my third trimester. Then all of a sudden, I'll just, like, you'll have to roll me places, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. Rolling like a ball.
Yeah, just put me in a wheelbarrow. That's what I told my husband. I also told him he had to fight for two because now I can't fight in tournaments. And tournaments are coming back now that COVID restrictions are lifting.
Right.
So I can't fight anymore.
Only for a little while, and then you'll be like you'll have your baby swaddled.
I have to have my
and
moment.
Yeah, you're gonna have a comeback. First, you need a comeback song.
Oh yeah, definitely need the right tunes.
So I'm using like the bright hex lichen. No. Yeah, it's called hex lichen from Vallejo for her skin because that is, I believe, exactly the color that they used in this model. It's really bright, which is nice. I think I made my wet palette a little too wet because you can see how much it's bleeding. The stuff is bleeding, so.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not the worst thing. I just have to be more careful about how much stuff I'm putting. Jess says, I was always baffled by ultrasound pics. They always look like weather scans. I don't know about your baby, but there's a squall building. Yes, exciting times indeed. And it will be very fun for little Holly. A nerd, we know, a big nerd.
My friends they've been joking that either she's gonna just be like born into nerddom and just, come out swinging a sword, or she's going to be like super boring into like accounting. Just not about it at all.
She'll be her parents are so nerdy that she'll rebel, but by rebelling, it's like being a normie.
I was like, she can't because even my mom was like, oh, she'll be like into cheer, and I was like, and no. I like better. You think I won't do her makeup? I model. We will go to cheer.
Yeah, you're like that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, there's nothing she can like that I won't aggressively support. I don't like I have one job as a mom, and it is to be embarrassingly supportive. I don't understand.
Although I feel like if she loves dinosaurs, that will be very helpful.
It will be helpful. That would definitely be helpful, but I won't hold it against her if she doesn't. Everyone has their own interests.
Right, that's fair.
So I think it was I didn't do like a big whole pregnancy announcement thing, really. Like I just took a little picture on Mardi Gras and was like, oh. But I did do an announcement for my best friend who is her godmother. And I'm still very proud of this announcement. I should have gotten it on video. I didn't. But I sent it to her with a belated Christmas gift. And I just there was a lot of boxes involved. So there was like her gift in a big box, and then her little tiny gifts in a littler box, and then a note in another box. And then in a very tiny box, there was an egg. And it was black egg because she's very goth. And inside of that egg was a secret note that said I was pregnant. And she thought I was being elaborate because it was a belated Christmas gift.
Right.
So she gets the present. I was like, you have to open it with like me watching you because there's shenanigans. And she's like, oh boy, Gretchen and shenanigans. And so I was like, okay, there's an order. You have to open the big box, and you have to open this box, and you have to go through here, and then you have to get this box, the tiny box with the little black ribbon on it, and then inside of that, you're going to find an egg. And at this point, she's like, are you Yzma?
Right. Put that box in another box.
What?
And smash it with a hammer.
She doesn't know what to do with the egg, and the only way to get the secret message out is to smash it. So she gets the tiny little egg, and I go, now smash it. And she's like, what is this?
That's awesome.
But yeah, I was very proud of my shenaniganery with that one. It's like, this is nice. I need to get more eggs with secret messages in them. That's what I learned from that. The confusion on her face when she opened the final box to find an egg
was
beautiful.
It was worth it.
It was so worth it. You can buy the eggs on Etsy, and there's different kinds. You can get a golden egg, you can get a little goth egg, you can get an
Oh, that's awesome. Jason says, take a selfie and caption it. Can you find the other person? That's a pretty good one.
That's a good one.
I forgot to ask people so Gretchen's painting up a dragon, changing up the color, making it more olive green. I'm painting up some frameworks, night hag models. What are other people painting, if painting at all, in the chat? Love to know. We have some good miniature pictures that are coming up from the mini painting group. People have been doing some good stuff in that group. Painting away. But that's really funny and very clever, Gretchen. I like the elaborateness of it.
You should. They're not super expensive. It's like $13 to gift someone a message and an egg. It is 100% worth it.
So they make the egg and put the
No, it's a real egg.
Oh, it's a
real egg. I don't know how they get the message in it. I'm not sure.
It's something like they poke a hole, I think, and then they can like blow it in there.
Yeah, it's like there's science behind it, I'm sure. I just don't know the science, and I'm gonna leave it at magic.
And the people on Etsy have magic.
And then they put the message in the egg.
That's awesome. Jason's just finishing a WizKids Reaper, maybe? Not Roper. JT is putting the final touches on the base for the Canis Rex Knight. Nice. Simon is working on a 3D printed Bucky O'Hare. Not Bucky from Marvel. Rob Jedi just primed the Muppets version of the Fellowship of the Ring. Okay.
I want to see that one.
Call me intrigued. I am intrigued. Where are those miniatures from?
Where do you put that? Yeah, I want those.
Because that's awesome. Betsy is finishing up. Oh, your third to last Lord of the Rings mini. That's so awesome. Also curses. I totally got yellow on this lady's face. Anger. Ashlyn is doing a 1/72nd scale of 69 Charger from a particular 80s TV show. Nice. Jez is currently painting a bag flap for a bag he's making, and it has a mushroom and some hairs tooled into it. Ooh, That's cool. Jason says in elementary school he had to decorate eggs after blowing out all the insides. Yeah.
Yeah, they last quite a while once you do that.
They do. They basically don't go bad unless they're exposed to the elements. Sean is working on the Beastmen from Underworlds. Yes, the Muppets Fellowship. I know. I'm like, is this a... Where are these minis from? You'll post them in the Facebook group. Awesome. Oh, they're from My Mini Factory. Very cool. I'm excited to see them.
I want to know who made those minis and was like, you know what the world needs. Muppet Lord of the Rings. And you know what? They're right.
And they're not wrong. So interestingly, this lady, she has she has a cauldron, which is cool. You can't see it very well on the camera, but because it's all painted black. I should have waited to put the cauldron on, but I didn't. So I'm going to paint the bottom like wisps of magic coming from the cauldron. They're going to be opaque, but then like the other stuff is actually going to be translucent. So here are the translucent pieces, and I'm going to paint those separate because and then glue them on. I could glue them on now that I've sprayed it, but I'm going to paint them separate and then glue them. Because what I realized is in the actual building of the mini, the smoke goes all around her, and so then it would have made it impossible to paint any of her. So I was like, hold up. I need to not do that and like be smart about what I'm doing.
I feel like I never catch those moments when I'm like, there's an easier way I could have accomplished this task.
Yeah.
I never figured that out until after the task was accomplished.
And I almost did that, but I did have a thought, and I was like, I should wait and put these on afterwards. Yes, gonna have to get hold of the Muppets Fellowship. I agree. Did you see the trailer for the new series that's coming out?
Yes.
Gretchen?
I'm
Thoughts?
super excited about that.
Yeah.
I don't have necessarily super high hopes in like the
Yeah,
same
I
way that
understand.
the movies
Yeah.
were very good. I think that they're going to be a fun time, right? So
Me too.
like, I think the costuming looks gorgeous. I think the casting looks absolutely phenomenal. I think all of that looks very fun and exciting. I just also inherently like get suspicious about anything that people are trying to bring back for like nostalgia value, or in I feel like they're going to try to like be in direct competition to a lot of stories that are currently being told, and to
that's fair.
and to what the original like live action films accomplished.
Yeah.
And I also found out that they don't have the rights to everything.
Oh no. I didn't realize that.
So like, while I don't think it's gonna suck, and I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna poo-poo it, because I think it's still gonna be really fun. I don't have high hopes in terms of like super strong accuracy, little tiny details, like, you know, things like that. But I think it's gonna be fun in the same way that the Hobbit trilogy is fun. Like,
Right.
is it accurate? No.
Sorry, everyone. We're just going to turn this down.
No, it's not accurate at all. But if you like just want to have a fun time and be like, Lord of the Rings universe, is it fun? Yes. So that's kind of how I feel about this one.
Gotcha. I
Like,
think
I'm
that's
not
fair.
I think it's gonna be a fun ride. That's all I ask. That's all I ask of it. And you know what? If it ends up being more than a fun little romp through the Lord of the Rings universe, if it ends up being super accurate or taking liberties in ways that are, you know, adding to the story and the narrative in a fun and exciting way, then I'll be like, yeah, awesome. My hopes and dreams come back to me. Uh, but I'm not going to be like overly critical for something that I think is mostly a money grab with a little bit of
Yeah.
for funds inside in. It's the same way with the Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World series. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of critiques of that series, but also I love it dearly, and it brings me a lot of joy to be able to see that content, and I have a lot of fun with it. So, you know, I'll just take it as it is. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Ashlyn says the Muppets Lord of the Rings needs to happen. See, that's the prime series we all actually want.
I think the Muppets touch anything that's well loved, and they only make it loved more.
Better. Yes, this is so true.
And I think it's because they make fun of themselves. So it's not like hurting anyone's rose-tinted glasses or nostalgia, and then it just makes it lovable.
Yeah. It's so true. I would love a Muppets Lord of the Rings. That would be amazing.
I think it would be brilliant. There's a post on Tumblr that goes around that like describes a fan version of it where they're like, oh man, the one token actor should be Vigo reprising his role as Aragorn. And
oh my gosh. That's so
just playing
funny.
it completely just straight faced, just going for it. And I was like, oh, I could see that. I could see that so well.
Jess says it's got the same crew as the Jackson movies.
Like, I can't think of it.
Oh, we lost Gretchen. Sometimes our internet goes in and out. The internet going out is the studio's issue. It's not actually the our caller in.
It's not my internet.
So you know. Yeah, it is actually ours. So, apparently the new yeah. Sweet Jones. I think, as Simon says, I think any remake should be a mandatory Muppets movie.
I think it would get. I think.
Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters Muppets. Why did that not happen?
Michael Murray? Would Michael Murray still be like the one human actor?
Yes.
It's always fun, and you have to choose wisely. You have to choose wisely.
Yes, you have to choose wisely.
You can only have one or two. That's it.
Oh, that would be so
there's someone
good.
saying like Jurassic Park, but just keep Jeff Goldblum.
And like, all the dinosaurs are Muppets too. That would be great.
I don't know. I think I might keep I think I might keep Alan Grant as well, just as a little bit more of like a serious.
Okay.
But I feel like if we kept Jeff Goldblum, it would have to be less as Ian and more as just like Jeff Goldblum in the wild with Muppets.
Yeah.
Like I would prefer a Muppets special with Jeff Goldblum starring Jeff Goldblum. Because I think him interacting with Muppets would be hilarious.
It's just him going throughout his day, and there's also Muppets there.
Muppets. I think that's like close to his reality. I think it's fine. Would he even notice?
And he just plays the piano, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and he's just like, it's Muppets. It's here all the time. Don't worry about it. That's how life is. I'm just saying. I would, if I was in charge creatively of a Muppets movie, it would just be Jeff Goldblum as Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
No matter what the Muppets movie was.
That's amazing.
The movie would be like an entirely different world and just be like, Jeff Goldblum! Like, it's...
Would be perfect. The possibilities are endless. Yep. Endless possibilities. Gonzo needs to be Jeff Goldblum. That could work. And then Jeff Goldblum's just himself too. But Gonzo's also Jeff Goldblum.
That would be great. I love it. I feel like Gonzo has very good Jeff Goldblum vibes. I feel like he could pull it off.
I agree wholeheartedly. The Avengers needs to be Muppets.
Yes. Obviously.
I think
Star
the Muppets
Wars
franchise, yeah, Muppets, Star Wars.
Mark Hamill would definitely work with Muppets. Mark Hamill would love to work with Muppets. I don't even have to ask his opinion. I just know psychically at this moment.
At this point in his career, he is ready to work with Muppets.
I'm like, I would bet he's actually talked to, like, worked with Muppets before. And if he hasn't, he should. Yeah, Mark was one. I can't read the whole thing, but it says Mark was once on one of the original Muppet somethings.
On the original Muppet show. Yep.
Yes.
That's what Simon says.
See? Psychically knew.
Ashlyn says Gonzo laid out in the back of a Jeep with a ripped shirt. Apparently, yep, Mark Hamill was on the original Muppet show. Frank Oz operated Yoda in Empire.
Well, I knew the Jim Henson stuff from Star Wars. I was not old enough to see all of the original Muppet Show things, so I'm glad my instinctive...
That's why he was so good with Yoda, because he had already had practice.
I'm glad my gut instinctive, like, yes, he needs Muppets was correct.
Yeah. He was also in the Pigs in Space skit. I didn't realize that.
Now I feel like I gotta go watch some Muppets.
I agree. Muppets are always a good time.
I watched the Halloween special. I wasn't, like, completely enamored by it, but it was definitely a good time.
Yeah, I heard mixed
I felt like
reviews
they
on
relied
it.
on too much CGI. There wasn't enough puppetry for me.
Gotcha.
I was like, guys, we're here with puppets.
I know people said that as a critique of The Dark Crystal as well, actually.
The new series? Yeah. I mean, there was still a lot of puppetry in that. Not as much as the original, though. I just really like practical effects when they're done really well.
I really do think there's still a place for practical effects in TV and movies.
I think they look better.
And I think it's going to take a director kind of just making that choice of, like, I'm just going to do these practical effects. Or even the idea of, like, the puppets of, like, no, I'm just going to make it look like this. And that's what it's
I
going to
think
look like.
stylistically it's a choice, and in some places, like, it really, like, is a good stylistic choice for the story, and it can tell more of the story. For example, in The Dark Crystal and stuff like that, I think that it wouldn't have worked nearly as well without the puppetry that they provided for that. And even with, like, they still do some of the animatronics for Jurassic World, but it's not nearly as many animatronics as they previously did. It's almost all CGI now, and you can really tell with the weight of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They don't feel weighted in reality quite as much which I think makes them less scary. I think that was part of the appeal of the first Jurassic Park, was like they looked so real.
Right, like
Just-
they
I
were
just
going to
think we
eat you.
I just think things look scarier when you know that they are in the same plane of reality as you,
Yes.
because then they're actually touching you. It's not just a man in a green screen suit.
Being like,
Because I
"Woo."
know behind the scenes, it's just a man with a bunch of things.
Oh, apparently the
The
Muppet
theater.
Show is available on Disney Plus.
Oh, awesome.
I agree with you about the physical effects. Yeah. Thanks, Rob. Rob posted his miniature pictures of Muppets now that we've been talking about them for the past while. Oh, it is 8 o'clock. Would you like to look at some miniature pictures?
Yes, let's do it.
Oakley dokley. Let me sit down my paintbrush. My hag is slowly being color blocked in, so
She is.
I did some highlighting on the fabric, and her purple skin is still drying, so that's what's happening with her. Doo-doo. Okay, give me just 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna look at some. Jess says, sorry, one does not simply waka waka into Mordor. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Sean wasn't fond of Labyrinth. I mean, fair. On a rewatch, Labyrinth, it didn't age as well as maybe some of the other ones. But
I like it.
that's okay. We forgive it.
I like it. I think there were parts of the story that probably could have been a little bit more fleshed out, but I'm always a sucker for like person finds themselves in another world.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
if it ends with that world kind of coming back with them. Like, no, it wasn't all a dream. It was real. Like, I love that.
No, definitely. I agree with that. I'm just fixing our camera angle real quick. And then we can get into the minis. Okay, so first up, so these are miniatures from our Facebook group, which many of you are aware of. If you're not, we have a Facebook group for painting happy little minis, and it's a very fun place where people just like go and talk about miniature painting and then also post up what they've been working on in the group, and it's genuinely a lovely time, I would have to say. Very, very welcoming. Our goal in the group is to have people who are of all ranges of painters feel comfortable showcasing their work, and so each week I collect photos of what people have been working on, and kind of regardless of where you are in your painting journey, we like to talk about it. So don't feel shy if you're not like a master painter, because that's kind of the point, is just to enjoy the hobby, which is cool. So first up we have Ashlyn, who has been painting the sisters of... fill in the name. I don't know how to say that.
Sister of the Ordo Pronatus.
Okay, thank you. Battle. Yes, Sisters of Battle. There you go. I'll just say Sisters of Battle. It's great. So yeah, that's what Ashlyn's been working on. Let me see if I can make this photo a little bigger. Doo-doo-doo.
Is that freehand work on the cloak?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, on the scroll. She looks awesome. Ashlyn's always given us top work. Appreciate it. It took me a while to realize that this is the same miniature, different angles. But yeah, I really love the work that you've been doing, Ashlyn, and it's a little hard to see on the photo here, but there's actually a wear, like metal wear on the gun, so it's a really nice detail.
Oh yeah, I can see it on the edge.
Yeah, right on the edge, right by the red, on the red of the gun. So, looking good. Next up we have Betsy. Let me zoom this in. Betsy's been working on the Lord of the Rings stuff. Oh, it's molded in the details. Nice. The scroll work has. So Betsy's been working on the Lord of the Rings. So if I remember correctly, you're on your third to last. Congrats. That's super awesome. And so this is Eleanor from the Lord of the Rings Journeys in the Middle-earth. So we've been seeing Betsy's paintings of the trolls and also the dwarves. Been looking really nice.
Really nice work on, I like that highlight just on the knee there. It's subtle, but it really makes the fabric look like fabric.
Yeah. I totally agree. Good, bold colors.
Mm-hmm.
Been super fun to see that. So excited to see it all finished. Coming up soon. Next up we have Carl with Theris Vinsum, who's a Mercury Flyer by Reaper Games. And what I'm liking is
no
the
idea
blue.
what a Mercury Flyer is, but it looks like someone who is fun and has a good time.
Yes, I know, right? I really like the blue on this bike. I think it's a nice touch. And actually the shadowing in the tires is a good texture. Next up we have Chris Cox, who didn't have any minis to share, but they were rebuilding the gauntlets for their Mando costume.
Oh, awesome.
I believe it's a Mando cosplay. I could be wrong. Also, Chris mentioned that they had just...
It's like a miniature, but bigger. It's a bigger.
Yeah. Also, Chris mentioned that they recently got married. So congrats, Chris.
Oh, congratulations.
The group. That's super awesome. Really nice. Thanks for posting up in the group. This is Chris Donnan with a troll monster, he didn't say. I believe this is 3D printed from the way that it looks painted. I really like the bone work here. Some good stuff. Jess says
I like that dark blue.
They're 1-to-1 scale mini parts.
I have a few friends that do Mandalorian cosplay, and I tell them I always want to do like a mini version of them because they all have custom armor. And I just want to do like the mini little Mandalorian of them and just paint it in their likeness. It's mini you.
Oh, that would be so fun. But yeah, Chris, I'm liking the work here. Like the red on the fur. He's a big boy. Chunky boy. I agree. Next we have Chris Gorka with Celestine. Beautiful work on the wings. I'm really loving the color gradation there.
It looks airbrushed.
Yeah, definitely. Going right down into the shadows. Looks so beautiful.
Very smooth. And the swords look glowing.
Yeah. I believe that's part of their thing. They all have glowing swords. Correct me if I'm wrong, my Warhammer fans. Yeah, so Chris has really clean work. I agree. That is a key skill. That's what I'm trying with my miniature, which wherever it went. It doesn't look clean on camera, but I'm trying to be clean because that's what Dave says. He says, the more you're clean, the better it is. You know? Next up, we have Clive Mills, who is working in progress on the Evil Wizard. I believe this Evil Wizard has a couple gnomes or fiends. Oh, and Dave Hummel let me know that Celestine is a holy saint, and the 2 seraphim are enhanced. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh.
That makes sense. So yeah, I like the look of this little wizard guy. It's interesting that he's evil, even though he's painted blue. To me, blue is a good color.
You got that Disney color scheme.
I got that, yeah. But I'm enjoying him. I'm all looking forward to see the finished work. So this next one, I thought, Gretchen, that you would like these guys. They are they're an orphan gang from Zombicide Invaders, and they're just painted in a really fun way.
They do look fun. They look like they were at laser tag when zombies broke out. And they were just like, well, keeping the kit.
I know, right? Yeah, it does look like the 80s. And I really love the sneakers. They have awesome like boot sneakers things, which I think adds the laser tag 80s
like
feel.
moon shoes.
Yeah. I really like this Cornish Mikey. I think you're doing really great on your saturation of colors. And
I love that sprite. We need more brightly colored zombie things.
yeah.
All this squinting in the dark, grim dark. And more pop art zombies.
We need these pop art zombie killers that are gonna be great. Yeah, I agree. Oh, or they'd be a great
Stargrave crew.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Looking forward to seeing. I hope you have more. Half of. There we go. We need to see the other half. So next we have Dave Hummel, who has Terminators of the Shadowhawks, first company. Looking good here. Sorry that the picture is so small. It's just the nature of the live stream. But yeah, it's looking good. Next up we have Fabrice, who this is a work in progress, and he actually finished this in the fifth. Dave Hummel said they're 5 of the 160 plus Terminators. So there's a 5. Good start. No, keep up the good work. So Fabrice actually finished this picture. If you are interested, head over to the Facebook group and see the finished mini. It is awesome. Maybe I'll pull it for next week, or maybe he'll submit it for next week. But it's a really cool monster that he's doing here. And he kept the purple base with the green. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a Demigorgon. And it's true, yeah, the hairy, yeah. Next we have Garrett. And he's been working on this Sylvads for a while. But hey, sometimes it just takes that time.
Is that a headless man?
Oh, he actually, I think, has an owl face. I believe. But yeah, I like the work on the shield that he's been doing. I don't know if you can
That
see
reflective work is really nice. And it's a good opportunity to use the reflective work too, because it's facing so prominently outwards.
Yeah. So he has like this chrome plating thing, and it's like reflecting like the scenery back to him, which is awesome. I'm really looking forward to. It makes sense that it's been on your table for a little while, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the finished product. Next, we have Greg, with a slime dog.
That is kind of cute in a really weird way.
Yeah,
I
I
do
agree.
like it looks shiny. It looks like there's a glaze on it to make the slime really look slimy.
Yeah, he's a sticky
And
boy.
the shading, yeah, the shading on the sculpt is very goopy. Is that, I think that's the official term for that. Very, very goopy shading.
Yeah, I don't know if
It's
he's
very
used some contrast paint on that, but I feel like that would be a good model to just let the ink like sink
Oh
in
yeah.
to the shadows. Looking good. Next up we have Jason, who finished the WizKids Clockwork Dragon, which is really cool. So I remember a while back we had talked about the wings on this guy. And I really like how he turned out, Jason. I think this guy looks
That's
awesome.
really cool.
I think you were able to tie in the patchwork on the wings very well. With the
Definitely
bees.
has that steampunk vibe.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to meet this dragon in my clockwork world, my steampunk world. Unless he were my dragon. We have a monster from the Rising Sun game. This is one of the commies. And yeah, I'm excited that Jeff is finishing these up because I love the Rising Sun models. I would not want to paint them, but I love how they look. So you've been doing some good work on those. Definitely. JT is finishing up the Canis Rex, as he said earlier in the chat. You've done a really nice job on the front of the mask. Mask? Is it a mask? It's a helmet. It's a helmet.
It looks very nice, though. It almost looks like with that blue glowing from within.
Yeah. Really good detail. Really good detail. Titan goodness, I agree. And I'll show one more because I thought this was really funny. So Mark Max, yeah, face shield. It's a face shield. Mark Maxey, who is at Adepticon, I believe, posted up these itty bitty.
Oh my goodness, they're so tiny.
And he's not in
How
chat
did
because
you
he's at
pinprick
Adepticon.
paint that?
I have no idea how he painted these. I have no idea what these are made of. So next week we'll have to talk about them. But I thought they were hilarious.
They're so small.
So tiny. And you didn't get to see his mini, Gretchen, but he painted for Adepticon. He was submitting to one of the paint competitions, and he painted a ring wraith. And so I would laugh really hard if he like somehow incorporated these into the ring wraith. Yeah, it would be great. That would be so funny. So anyway, I thought that would be really funny to share because they're so tiny. How do you even make those? I'm not sure.
You paint grains of rice.
Yeah, it's true.
It actually looks like a grain of rice cut in half. Is what that looks like.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so I have a couple more minis. Would you like to see them, or would you like to get back to painting?
Either or. Let's see. Ask the chat. Chat, do you want to see more minis, or do you want to get back to painting? My dragon has been drying while we've been looking at minis.
Yeah. Minis! Okay, cool. My mini has also been drying, so it is kind of helpful. More minis. All right, more minis now. So this text is too small. Basically, he said that this guy is part of his Philadelphia Doom Eagles. And it's their newest member. But it's interesting
That
because
sounds cool.
we painted this mini, so I think he's using it for something else besides the original purpose of this mini. Yeah, because I have a picture of Dave's painted version of that mini. But I love, and interestingly, I think the original coloring is more dark, or at least that's the color scheme Dave went with purple flames. So it was really cool. Oh my gosh, cat. So it was really cool.
I'm surrounded by animals right now.
It's okay. So it was really cool to see this paint version where he did the orange flame. I like that.
And the little bits of black at the top of those flames there really make it look like it's burning off of oil or something that would be on the sword.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. We also have Louis Anthony Citron, who is working on a Reaper mini for a friend, and it's fun to experiment on. This lady is kind of crazy. She's a little wild.
She's living her best life.
But I'm excited with the gradient on the scales. It'll be interesting to see how Lois, or Louis, however you want to pronounce that, highlights those scales. And
They definitely look great. And the skin tone looks very beautiful too. It's very evenly done, but still looks very muscular.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely a good model to paint on. Next we have Michael Derr, who has been working on their Halfling Ranger. Such a small guy.
But he's got a lot of adventures to go on. An adventurous lad. I like how plush green that base is.
Yeah. I agree.
And I like how it's against all the warm tones that he chose to paint the halfling. I'm reading Jess's comment at the same time. Not a hobbit, licensing.
Cool.
What? But I do love all of the beautiful warm tones. I think it looks really great against the basing being that cool green, and it also makes the sword and the it's like the bit of armor on the belt there, or stand out a lot more. Draws the eye through.
And I wonder also if you could add some blue to the knife or dagger. Maybe make it sting. Maybe.
Yeah.
If you wanted to continue with the Lord of the Rings theme.
Leona's on a kick now. Now the show's gonna end, and you'd be like, I guess I have to watch all 3 extended edition in a row.
I might have to
get it out of my system.
All through the night. And all the
Yep.
Hobbit movies. Nobody looked.
I did that when I got them for Christmas. I just binged watched all 3 immediately. It took me like 2 days. Something ridiculous.
I know it does. Things are long. So, Sebastian has been painting up a stealthy lictor. It's good stuff. I believe he's from Warhammer. I could be wrong. Prove me wrong,
That's
chat. Tyrannid Beastmen,
I just like
yep.
the color.
Okay. I know, right?
It looks like something that camouflages really, really well, and then out of nowhere just unfolds into that colorful guy, and you're taken aback, you're shocked because suddenly danger.
Yes, alien danger. Yeah, no, he's looking good. I'm not wrong. Okay, good. I'm starting to learn my Warhammer. It's a slow process, y'all.
Yes,
yeah.
we're both right. 2 for 2.
Yes, it says that's literally what they
Thanks
do.
Wonderful painting abilities. We were
Yeah.
able to use our context clues.
Honestly, yeah. So congrats to Sebastian for painting it really well. It's looking awesome.
What a cool indicator would that be for like a painting competition? Like the judges have no idea. Like you just pull people who are not in the community to judge and they have to guess based on your painting.
There you go. I like that.
What is this? What does it do?
What does it mean? So we have the
Really?
with a demon king. Maybe it's a dragonborn.
Ooh.
It's a little hard to see because I'm far away. But
they're very dragony in nature. They have wings and a vaguely reptilian aura.
But yeah, it's looking good. It's interesting. It's all very, very warm. Warm armor.
I like it.
Warm wings.
It's a very sunsetty kind of color scheme. Very, it's all the warm colors, and then it goes down to the cool colors onto the bit of fabric there and into the ground.
Oh my goodness! I missed this one. Sean Gleason posted in the group as well, and he's still painting up the Severith that are coming along nicely.
That's colorful.
Yeah. Very, very pretty. I really like what you've been doing, Sean. It's been a joy to see you paint them. It's also fun because they're very different from the other factions in Warhammer, so the models are just really unique. Which is cool. And then lastly, we'll look at a mini that was painted from last week that we didn't get to talk about, so we'll talk about it now. And that is Simon's Bombshell Evelyn the Explorer.
Ooh.
Here's a mini for your Jurassic Park movie.
Always need a good explorer, exploring things.
Yes.
It's ready to go.
Very retro 30s. I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking awesome. I love the colors. Love the little flamies. Going up to black, always a good time. Is this part of a board game? Let us know, Simon. Be interested. Yeah, and a nice base as well with the brown. All right. So that's it for our looking at miniatures this evening. So we can get back to... Oh, nope. Nope. It's not part of a board game. That's fine. It It can just be a mini on its own.
Sometimes you just need adventures.
Ah, it's the Bombshell Miniatures Pulp Minis. Very cool. I get it now. Thanks. So what are you, what have you been painting on your dragon?
So I have again, it's backlit, so you can't really tell, but the darker green over the majority of the dragon, and I think it looks better with the darker green, and then having the more orange on the back there. You can kind of see the orange there. There you go.
Yeah, we can see the orange. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it looks nicer than the shade of green I previously had on him. But I don't know where I'm gonna go from there. So we'll find out.
That's fair.
Might touch up some of those frills. Doggo is getting a little antsy. So I apologize if you hear some dog noises.
My lady is very brown right now. Partly because I've used beige brown and also charred brown in her coloring, because on the box she has brown for her clothes. Her cauldron is black, but I wanted to paint it brown because I figured I could paint black over it and maybe it would give it a little bit more dynamic color. Maybe that was the wrong choice. Let me know in the chat what you think. Yes, I agree. The variety in the group has been really great, so it's been fun to see lots of different miniatures, including the Bombshell ones from the Bombshell line. Thank you. I think now what I'll do with my hag is go over the yellow again, and also paint up the spell effects, or whatever that's called, smoke, which is also purple. Which will be good because it'll give more color to the model. That's the only thing about painting them black, priming them black first, is I feel like you have to put a lot of color on there to make it not look so dark. Or that's like my first inclination, is to just be like, put a ton of color on there. Dave almost says, Fozzie is Boemir. Oh no! That's so funny! Oh! Okay, so apparently Rob put up in the group the miniatures that we were talking about earlier, the Muppets one, so be sure to check that out after the show. Oh, I have a question. There's these little, I don't know if you'll be able to see them. There's this like little, almost gingerbread looking dude. And some other pieces for this model. A plate and like almost a candy cane? And my question is, which one do you think I should add to the model? This gingerbread dude, the candy cane, or a little plate of food?
I say the gingerbread man.
The gingerbread man? I agree. I don't know where he'll go, but he'll go on after. All of them. Oh no, Sam the Eagle from the Muppets is Saruman.
No.
Oh, that's so funny. That's amazing. I'm in love. Yeah, so interestingly, so Dave mentions the bigger base. She comes on a base that's 1 inch, and there's a lot of stuff for you to put on there for a 1 inch base. So you honestly could make this hag without the cauldron. I mean, it wouldn't be as cool, obviously, because then she wouldn't have her smoky smoke. Yes, no, Jez is correct. The little dude is definitely like a fabric voodoo style figure. I just called him a gingerbread man because I didn't really know the correct terminology for that. But yes, that is what he is. He shows up actually in the wisps right here. He shows up like right here, which is kind of crazy. He comes back in the smoke, which is wild. Or I could do a bunch of smaller bases and do all the accessories. Yeah, that's kind of what I was realizing. Like, there's definitely options with this one model for you to almost break it apart if you were in a campaign and to put them all on separate bases and then have them like come out as you wanted.
That'd be cool.
It could definitely be cool if like the little puppet was like something that you could your party could take control of, like if you had like a wizard or something, you know?
Yeah, like its own separate little thing.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. I know too many people who would like instantaneously, if they saw a little teeny tiny miniature with like a little puppet man on it, be like, "That's our NPC. We've adopted it now."
Yeah. But see, it's great because now he would have a mini, and then you would always know that it's there.
That's our emotional support gingerbread. No,
Homunculi.
not allowed to
Okay.
take it.
Could be a homunculi. I'm painting this little gingerbread guy up with one coat of a mixture of filthy brown, beige brown, and charred brown.
Delicious, delicious, delicious gingerbread.
Because I wanted him, I mean, we were talking about gingerbread, so now he really does kind of look like a gingerbread man. But also, like, I feel like kind of canvas sack fabric could be a very similar color.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
even like a wood, some sort of wood texture. It could kind of work as well. So, that's probably why I decided to paint him up this like brownish color. So he'll go there. I'm gonna add more yellow.
I think other than doing a gingerbread style for that, because it would be funny, I would also be very tempted to go like the Lilo Stitch route of just like greens and purples and.
Oh, for the little guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that could work too. Because it's like he could be magical. I think it would just depend. If anyone here decides to build a 1 72nd scale, general lead. Do not buy the NPC country charger kit. So horribly molded. Oh, so much cleanup work. Sorry to hear that.
No.
That's annoying.
That's no good to hear.
That's no fun to do all that cleanup work. If he gets hurt, someone needs to learn the bake skill.
Dry, dragon, dry. Did a little bit of orange back over the scales to make them kind of look almost like they're green iridescent, but shine orange.
Okay.
Try to blend things in.
I did actually.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm a fan of this color scheme I chose.
Oh no!
I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's my favorite. I tried a desaturated. I have a different mini that I painted with like lime green and neon orange, and I liked it when it was the 90s / 80s. I don't know if I like this desaturated version of the color scheme.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not fun anymore. I'll have to figure out how to add some pizzazz back into it.
Makes sense. It's always just a trial and error. It's interesting how the saturation really does make a difference.
It does. It does. And it changes the tone of everything, too, so much. Like, suddenly you genre hop by accident.
Yeah, like now you're in this sort of dark and depressing world, and it's just not working. Or more naturalistic, and it's like, wait, that doesn't work. Or at least that's what I'm assuming is happening. Okie dokie. I'm going to put Miss Minnie up on the webcam so you can see her.
Woohoo! Leona, you made it to the spinner.
I know, right? Looks good. I would have to say this Minnie looks way better on camera than in person.
It's so funny how the camera either hides all of your mistakes or it exasperates them.
Yes.
Like, there have been times I've looked at a mini in person and been like, man, I can't wait till this hits the spinner. And then it does. And I'm like, wow, I take it back.
Oh,
Or
no.
the times when I'm like, this mini is horrible. And then I put it up on the spinner and it looks great. And I'm like, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell no one. But no, I think she looks great. I think you did a
Thank
great
you.
job.
See ya, JT. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you popping in.
JT.
Yeah, so interestingly, on her color scheme, her shawl is gray. And I felt like that was too dull of a color with her bright purple skin. So I did go completely complimentary and do yellow as her.
I like it. I think it works well because it pulls from that bit of like yellow or tan color in her cauldron.
Yeah.
Like, It pulls from that, and it makes it look like it all makes sense.
And then I thought it would also highlight her face, like frame her face when you look on
Mm-hmm.
her, when you look at her straight on. Because if it was just gray, I mean, granted, I could have gone more white with the gray.
Mm-hmm.
In the picture, it's a pretty brown gray, and I was like, well, I'm already going brown with like both her cloth and her hair. So, and these little fiery bits will be
Oh yeah.
added.
And I mean, once those are painted to look like fire too, the yellow and the oranges and those fiery bits are gonna pool from the colors.
Yeah, that's what
So
I thought would work. She's conjuring some Vikings. So Jason was asking, are there small holes to attach the clear parts? So there actually aren't. The way that these are made, there are mold lines for them to attach to. They've made them so that they kind of fit into each other. But so there's not a hole. It doesn't like clip in like that. It does kind of just sit in where it's supposed to go.
and you can add some glue, easy peasy.
Yes, it's definitely one of those things you're going to have to use the glue, the plastic Citadel. Well, we have the Citadel, but plastic glue. But yeah, they don't actually have clips. They just have the things. So, yeah, I figured we could. I was kind of at a wrapping point, so I didn't know if you wanted to. We could head out a little bit early on this
Yeah.
Thursday evening. It's been lovely to see you again, Gretchen. Thank you for joining and coming on and making your announcement. It's been good stuff.
I'm
Good
like
to
glad
have you
that I
back.
was able to be able to be on the show today. We have tried, I promise you guys, we have tried so hard the past couple of weeks to get me on the show, but I have had to cancel pretty much every time.
Yeah, that's
Poor
just the
Leona
way
has
things
had to deal
are.
with it.
Yeah, but we wanted to make
Um,
like an official announcement and not just not me and Dave come on and be like, by the way,
yeah.
Gretchen, here's stuff about Gretchen.
So I'm glad I was able to make it tonight. I'm glad that we'll be able to plan something. And I'm
Yes.
glad I get to finally make Dave paint with glitter.
Yes, that's why he was crying, because he was so sad. I'm just joking.
So now Leona gets to go and pick out fun glitter to have on the table
It's
for
true.
that episode.
I get to have all the
Yeah.
glitter. So yes, Gretchen will be back in April for a final farewell show. I will be sure to check our Facebook group and also our social media for different things in terms of just like different events that will be happening around that. We're going to try and make it a fun episode and an exciting way to kind of push you on to your next adventure and your own little mini that you're going to have.
Yeah. I have my own little
But
mini.
don't
I hope
paint
she's
that
happy.
hippie. Don't paint that mini. Alrighty, everybody. We will be back. We will be painting some more Frameworks models. That will be our last week in the month of March, and then we will be picking up with some Steam Forged stuff, which will be super fun. Yeah, so actually, Gretchen, you'll be able to see the Bard Song minis that have just come out.
Awesome.
It's like a big box of big stuff, which is super cool. So we will see you all next week, and thank you for joining. Bye.